Been a while since you've been through an interview, hadn't it?
I know the last time you were here, I think last year, we recognized the boys after the, state championship game. So Chris, I'm gonna go ahead and, start the interview. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce everybody. I know you know a few of us up here, but this is Laura Barlow Heath. This is Tim Vincent. I'm Tiffany Nix. This is Nate Brewer, and this is Greer Bisignani. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and, let you start. We want you to introduce yourself. Just start with personal and go into professional.
Okay. All right. My name is Christopher Franklin, 45 years old.
Is the microphone on?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I think it got a little button on the side of it.
May I have to get the,
Hello.
no, it's not on.
What's going on, Steve?
I know we gotta remember to call you Chris, after everybody wanna call him both.
Are we not calling him both? I never knew who Chris was.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Thanks, Steve.
All right. Yeah. Christopher Franklin, better known as Bo. I don't mind you calling me Bo. But I'm 45 years old, married, wife Felicia. Been married for 16 years, 2 boys, Cortland, 14, CJ Franklin, 17, which will be 18 next month. Cortland is being in the 9th grade this year. CJ just graduated, about to attend Clark Atlanta University, play football. My wife Felicia works for Allstate, been at Allstate 17 years. I work for Emirates, been at Emirates 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, thanks for that introduction as your, personal, so you said you work at, Emirates. What do you do at Emirates, Bo?
I'm a heavy equipment operator.
Okay, all right,
And
you're
then-
also I always say this wrong, it's not a shop steward, is it?
Now, I'm the local union president
Okay.
for
I
United
knew-
Steel Workers.
That's right, I knew it was something, like that, I always say it wrong, so
Yeah.
forgive me. Okay, so, so tell us, out of all the boards you could have applied for, why Park and Rec?
I've been in youth sports for the last 20 years. So I just want to kind of keep my hands in that. My oldest son, CJ, is graduating. So I haven't been in youth sports since 2018, 2019. Kind of want to get my hands back in it. I see the way it's going with the new rec center that's being built, pickleball court, which I commend y'all for that. You know, the pickleball, everybody that was involved with that. I mean, you've been seeing the response from the pickleball, but I definitely want to just have my hands in on this.
I know, you used to, you're one of the original coaches too, from back from Burley Collins too, when we all grew up with Micro, so we appreciate you too for everything that you've done.
Yeah, mentioning microwave, I came up on the microwave Williams, the Lightning Threes, the Steve Masters, you know, and I saw the positive impact that they have on kids and the people in the community. So that's kind of what I want to get my hands in.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, and you kind of just answered my next question. I was gonna ask what, experiences or skills or perspectives, that you would bring to this position. So we see, from, the side of you coaching for all those years, we know, I guess you have a relationship with the community, you can help bring some of that to the board. But what do you think in your professional stance, what kind of skills could you bring as a board member?
Like I said, I'm the local president of our United States Steelworkers. I've been the president for the last 6 years. I work closely with management, supervisors, employees. We have 183 members that I oversee on a daily basis. We operate on a collective bargaining agreement, which is the agreement between the company and the union. And every 3 years, we renegotiate that collective bargaining agreement. So I kind of lead that charge every 3 years to renegotiate, which consists of insurance, retirement, wages, so kind of catch a lot of flack from my members about that. But in the end, we always work out a good contract. For the last 6 years, with me leading the charge, I think I've done a pretty good job.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna start with Laura to see if she has any questions.
think you pretty much covered everything. I appreciate your willingness though to work with the kids through the years. My son Corbett, I know such
Yeah.
a great kid. I'm really appreciative of you stepping up and.
Yeah, and I actually worked with Blake for years.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I worked with Blake.
That's why I know you as Bo.
Yeah.
I was like, Christopher Franklin.
All right,
But that's it. I don't really have anything. I think you covered it pretty well.
okay, Tim?
I'm gonna ask the questions kind of out of the box a little bit. What do you think you believe is the important issue facing the city and our sports and our kids?
I think it's the facility use. I coach basketball a lot, and leading up to the first game, we get to practice a lot. But after the first game, it's no more practices after that, because all the gyms are full and everything. So I know me being a coach, I know Coach Hubbard can speak for this, but after that first game, you really get to see what your players about. So you want to go back and correct those mistakes, but we never get to do that. So this facility use. Also, I watch our girl cheerleaders a lot. You know, I think every girl on that team should be able to do 5 backflips in a row. But when you only get to use the gym for 1 day a week for gymnastics, you know, that's a big problem too. So just facility uses.
Thank you.
Bo, there's no doubt you can coach. I've known you a long time. You do a real good job with our children. But here's what I want to ask. In this resume, it talks about you've developed teamwork and leadership skills. Tell me how you will take some of that to the board if you're appointed.
Yeah, like I told you, I have 183 members
That's right.
on my under the United Steelworkers. We work together as a team. I also have a vice president, financial secretary. You know, I don't take anything away from me. They help me on a daily basis to kind of figure things out between the company and the union. We all work together great as a team. You know, I consider myself a leader. So if I'm appointed to this board, I love to be a leader in that way.
And the quarry will be able to let you make the meetings and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Unless something bad goes wrong out there.
Oh yeah, all the time. I'm straight day shifts. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'll be 100% committed.
Thanks, Bo.
So, I don't have children that are of the age of being in the sports, arena, but we are faced with having, a new, rec center. And with that comes a lot of financial stewardship through your budgets and through your board as Parks and Rec. So, one of the things that I look for in a, board member is someone that can really hold, everyone accountable, as well as bring something to the table to help guide the executive director and his team. How do you feel like you can facilitate that, not become a yes man, you know, but really help to push and steward the Parks and Rec board? Because you're going to be faced with not only one rec, but 2, and that's going to increase in staff and hopefully events. So how do you plan on helping with that?
One thing I'm big on is transparency. You know, I'm gonna be real with you regardless. I definitely won't be a yes man. Like I tell y'all, like I said, I have 183 members. Everyone don't agree with the decisions that's made. But with me being transparent with them, you know, I feel like that's the best way to solve problems. You know, just be straight up with them, man. Just tell them like it is. That's the approach that I always use. Tell them like it is. Be very transparent with them.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, Chris, I don't, have any more questions. Do you have any questions for us? Okay. Well, we do appreciate your willingness to serve, and we do appreciate, you even applying and your willingness to serve on this board. I have to look over at Heather every time I, I think we're gonna make a decision on the Park and Rec board at the next meeting. So it'll be at the next meeting, because we do have a few more interviews tonight for it, and, you'll get a decision then.
Okay.
So thank you so much,
All right,
Chris.
thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
That's
Hey, Ms. Barnett, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, good. So I'm gonna start, by introducing us. So this is Laura Barlow Heath, this is Tim Vincent, I'm Tiffany Nix. This is Nate Brewer, and this is Greer Bisick name. So we're gonna go ahead and start the interview out by, asking you to introduce yourself. We're gonna ask you to start with a little, personal, and then go into your professional.
Okay, I'm Cheryl Barnett. I've been here in Sylacauga for 30 years. Lived at the same address on Spring Hill. I've had 3 children go through the school system here, played sports here, been actively involved with Parks and Rec. I'm a retired attorney, spent 40 years practicing law, advocating for children, and my passion for children is basically what drives most of everything I do, including my volunteer work. And I've been a member of Sylacauga Civitan. Actually, I'm a founding member, been a member for 20 years in Sylacauga, where we support ARC, Special Olympics, and various other projects, including building wheelchair ramps for the disabled, including children. So I'm free to answer any questions you have.
All right, sounds like you're pretty busy. After you retire, you seem like you're pretty busy.
You can be a professional volunteer in Sylacauga, yes.
Sounds good, sounds good. So, Cheryl, out of all the boards you could have applied for, why did you pick Park and Rec?
Well, other than, I would say, Board of Education, I think Parks and Rec touches the most people in this town, either through their children, their grandchildren, or as adults. I've delivered Meals on Wheels, so I'm familiar with some of the senior programs. My kids were all on swim teams. I spent summers raising money for the dome over the swimming pool. So, you know, I've just been actively involved with Parks and Rec tangentially for a lot of years. And I have the time, the energy, and the interest at this point in time. I see a lot of new things coming up. I'd like to be involved. I think I have something I could give to the board.
Okay. So we hear, just listening to all your experience and all the things you do as far as volunteering, tell me, what do you think as far as your professional side? What have you learned or done on your professional side that would skills or perspectives that you could bring to the board?
Well, as an attorney, you know, I have a lot of experience analyzing problems, coming up with solutions, reviewing financial data, reviewing contracts, all of that.
Okay, all right. So that's all the questions I have. I'm gonna start at the end with Laura to see what questions she has for you.
I believe she covered it all.
Okay. I know sometimes we get to talking and we ask you a little about yourself. You'll go down the list and go to answering our questions.
Yes, you answered my questions with it. Tell her about yourself.
All right, so Laura doesn't have any. We'll ask Tim.
Well, I want to ask you kind of the same thing. What do you think the biggest problem is, or biggest thing you work on if you got on the board with your other board members for the kids and students and sports and so on?
Well, I think just continuing to enhance all the programs that we have already in place, you know, and working on getting us a swim facility back, you know, and just keeping on. That's the goal. You know, I don't have any specific agenda other than that. I'm not that innately familiar with what the board is currently working on. So, you know, I'm a quick study though, so.
Okay. Nate?
Ms. Barnett, it's good to see you as always.
You too.
Tell me how you will bring your leadership skills to this board and make this board go.
Well, I just finished 2 years of studying Christian leadership through Highlands College. So I graduated in May, and I hope that I can utilize some of those skills on any board that I serve on. As a member, learning how to work in the team setting, and that would be my goal, to just be a good team player.
Yes, ma'am.
Greer?
Well, they've pretty much answered all the questions that I have as well, so thank you so much for coming out.
Thank y'all.
So Cheryl, we do appreciate you for coming out and your willingness to serve, but I do want to ask you, do you have any questions for us?
My understanding is that this board meets the second Monday of the month?
I think it's the
Still
second
is that-
Monday of the month at 5:30
Okay,
at J. Craig.
okay, that's all I have.
So again, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
willingness to serve, and thank you for coming out, and we'll actually make a decision on the Park and Rec appointment at the next meeting.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you all.
Cheryl. You have a good night.
Robert and Joey. She was younger.
You know her?
I don't know.
Or she was older, she was my age, like 2 years older than me.
I don't know her.
She's not as old as me, so you ain't
She's
gonna
ready
worry
for
about
a
that.
child. Yeah, she is. I think she's raising Shayna's kids.
Next up, it's gonna be at the bottom of your list, it's Chris Dialacker.
This is,
Pastor extraordinary.
no, it's, you messed me up. I almost had it.
Almost.
Nate messed me up. I almost had it.
Look,
So,
Nate messes a lot of people.
Sorry, Richard.
oh my goodness, it's good to see you again, Chris.
Yes, ma'am, good to see you.
So I know you, I think you know all of us up here, but I'm gonna still give you the, same thing I gave everybody else. So I'm gonna introduce us. This is Laura Barlow Heath. This is, Tim Vincent. I'm Tiffany Nix. This is Nate Brewer. And this is Greer Bisignani. So, we're gonna kick the interview off by you telling us a little bit about yourself. We're gonna ask that you, start in your personal and go into professional.
Perfect. All right, well, again, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to just be considered for appointment to the board. My name is Chris Dialacker. I'm a retired Army Lieutenant Colonel. I'm an ordained minister, former educator, longtime community volunteer. Throughout my military career, work in education, service in local organizations. I've had the opportunity to lead teams, manage resources, and work with people from many different backgrounds. My family and I moved to Sylacauga in 2008, and so we've called it home throughout all of our moves. Sylacauga has been home since then. And when we moved here, you may recall, Sylacauga was on a list of top 100 places to raise a family. And that was part of what drove our decision making. And so, that's one of the things that interests me about the idea of working with Parks and Rec, is just the impact that it has on the quality of life in our community. I don't come to this point with a personal agenda. I don't view board service as a position of authority. I view it as a position of selfless service. I view it as a position of stewardship. And my goal in all aspects of this will be to listen, to learn, and to just help support efforts that make Sylacauga absolutely the best community that we can be.
Wow, thank you. Well, first of all, I want to say this, as long as I've known you, I didn't know you were retired military, so thank you for your services.
Thank
I
you.
did not know that.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. You answered my first question. I was gonna ask you, what are your interests in serving on Park and Rec? I was gonna ask you, out of all the boards you could have chose, why Park and Rec, but you just answered that. So let me ask you this, out of your, just listening to your background, what do you think from your professional background, what experiences, skills, or perspectives could you bring as serving as a board member for Park and Rec?
So, thank you for the question. I've had the opportunity to serve in leadership roles at the local, state, federal level. I think you've got a copy of my resume and some of the opportunities that I've had. I worked in Washington, D.C. At big picture stuff, I advised leaders of other countries at various points. And so again, I've seen and led at levels from local all the way up. But I also have worked closely with students, with families, churches, community organizations, all of those types of organizations right here in Sylacauga. And so I think that breadth and depth of experience gives me a unique perspective that understands big picture, but also understands sort of the granular level of detail that individuals and families are looking for, right? I think I have experience in long-range planning and just day-to-day decision-making that impacts people.
Wow, this is impressive, Chris. I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna have to give the mayor his own little segment of get to know your neighbor. You're gonna have to reintroduce Chris to us. I feel like I don't even know you. Like, I was like, I know Chris, but I don't know Chris. Like, wow, like this is impressive. Wow.
It's, I like to tell people that it's, I'm just I go where I'm called to go, I do what I'm called to do, and wherever I am, I I do the best that I can. I've had opportunities that others haven't had, and I'm mindful of that. And just, again, trying to use that to better the community around me.
Okay, so you've answered all my questions. I'm gonna start over here with Laura.
Again, you
I know
answered
it.
my questions.
I feel like I don't even know Chris.
I apologize.
I mean, you pretty much answered all my questions.
Okay, so we're gonna go to Tim.
I'm good. Just what you stand there talking to us is,
Yeah.
is basically kind of went down my little checklist.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
All right, so Nate.
Council.
I don't have anything. Chris answered all mine, the first 4 sentences of his introduction.
If you can shut Nate Brewer up.
Look.
We.
You done something tonight,
You know
Chris.
what? That's, I'm gonna mark it on my calendar.
You should.
Better
Yes.
write that one down.
All right,
Well, I'm sorry, I am going to ask a few questions.
Perfect.
Because I don't have your resume in front of me.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
Help me understand, your background includes Lieutenant, Army Colonel.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you also worked for the church, or you do still work for the Baptist Church?
I
is that
do,
correct?
correct,
And
yeah.
what capacity is that?
I'm the youth pastor at First Baptist.
Okay.
So when I retired from the military in 2021, I did almost 24 years in uniform. This has been my church home since we moved to town. And the church family asked me to be their youth pastor. And so I've been serving there for creeping up on 6 years now. And so as youth pastor, I also serve as the chaplain for the high school football team. So I was allowed to continue doing that while I taught at the high school, but I continue to do that even though I'm not teaching anymore.
And you were a teacher at Sylacauga City?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that, your role there?
I was primarily taught U.S. government and economics, advanced placement psychology, and contemporary world issues, sort of a current events type class. Shout out to Mayor Hubbard. I reached out to him this last semester, and he volunteered to come spend about an hour with one of my students who wanted to interview the mayor as part of a project that we were working on. So yes, ma'am, social studies classes.
And did I hear that you have resigned from that position?
I have, yes, ma'am.
I hate to hear that.
It's,
Sounds like
you know,
you have
it was-
a lot to offer our students.
It was not a decision that I arrived at lightly. And as I explained to Dr. Eller, Mr. Rivers, really when I was hired several years ago, I said, I'm a youth pastor, and it's a part-time job, but I said, I'll teach as long as I feel like I can give both jobs what they're due, if I can contribute or provide the time that I need to. And over the course of the last school year, thankfully our youth ministry is growing, and so I just felt like I was doing a disservice to both organizations by trying to do each job. And so lots of prayer. My wife and I, over the Christmas break, just lots of prayer and soul searching, and ultimately arrived at the decision that I would continue working part-time at the church, set aside the classroom stuff, continue working with the football team. My daughter is a senior there this year, so I'll be there a lot. But setting that aside gives me the opportunity to do more things like potentially serve on boards for my community and other opportunities that may come up.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, Chris, I will tell you, coming from a parent, you are appreciated.
Thank you.
You are appreciated. So, we don't have any more questions, for you, and we do want to thank you for your willingness to serve, but I do want to ask you, do you have any questions for us?
I would ask you, anybody from a Parks and Rec standpoint, what do you consider to be the biggest challenge that a member of the Parks and Rec board might face that you're willing to discuss in this forum?
What I would say is, I would want a board member that has a direct connection with the community. It's one thing to sit on the board and to go up there and go over documents and make decisions, and I'm probably gonna sound crazy when I say this, but when you don't know what's going on in the real world,
Right.
it's kind of hard to serve at that level. So I would want somebody who was willing to serve, know what they were doing, but also had that direct connection to the real world, to sports, to the community, so on and so forth. Because I think that perspective still needs to be brought back to the board so that they can know who they're making these decisions for, why they're making these decisions, and who their decisions affect.
Yes.
That's what I would say. I don't know if anybody else.
The same thing, but, and be able to convey that to your other board members and work together to get that done, to better the rec and the city and the kids.
Yes.
And just continue to grow.
Right.
You know, basically improve the quality of life for the community through your connections and networks and what you hear within the community.
That's it. I think it was, Vanilla Ice, right? Stop, collaborate, and listen, right? I think those would be my guiding principles.
Okay, I want to get that on the shirt. Yeah, that's what I should do.
The only thing I would ask is, I think it's Parks and Rec does bring a lot to the table for our community, absolutely. But with it comes a lot of responsibility. So the budget constraints and really walking through, making sure we are a good steward of every
Yes.
aspect of our Parks and Rec. And we've got a lot, it's a great asset to our community, right? But we have to steward it well. With that, that's just comes with a lot of responsibility on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the challenge is unlimited wants and needs from the community in a resource constrained environment. And it's that balancing act. My last job in the Army, I managed about a $40 million training budget for individuals and for organizations. I've got, again, experience having those conversations, strategic alignment, all of those types of things that you would want somebody to have who's going to be, like you said, making the best decision with the limited resources that we have. Resources, not just financial, but space and what have you. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris,
Right.
so much.
Thank you so much.
We're not gonna make a decision on Park and Rec tonight, but we will make it at the next meeting, so, you'll have an answer at the next meeting.
Okay.
All right,
All
thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Next, you'll have Rachel Greer.
Hey, Rachel, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good. This whole time, I didn't even know it was you.
It's me.
I know, Laura said, you know Rachel that works at, Piggly Wiggly?
I've been at the pig for 30 years.
I know it, but I guess this isn't your maiden name, so I didn't even realize it was you, so, but it's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by introducing us. I'm pretty sure you probably know most of us, but, this is Laura Barlow Heath.
Hello.
This is Kim Vincent.
Bless y'all.
I'm Tiffany Nix. This is Nate Brewer,
Hey,
and this is Greer Bissignati.
Hey.
So we're gonna go ahead and kick the interview off by asking you to, introduce yourself. You can start with your personal and go into professional.
Okay. My name is Rachel Greer. I've lived in Sylacauga all my life. I went to school here at Sylacauga High School. I started at the pig in '96. It was Food World then. I'm still there. We're independent pharmacy, been there 17 years, Hubbard Pharmacy. So I have a child. She's fixing to be 20 years old, so she's not a child anymore. She lives in Rome, Georgia on a full scholarship to Berry College in Rome, Georgia. So
Wow, congratulations.
yes,
Wow. So now you got all this free time, you don't know what to do with it.
yes. I mean, we played softball 365 days a year, so, travel ball.
It
all
makes
that,
a
but-
difference though when they
It
go
does.
off to college because you're used to being so busy and now you're like, geez, I didn't plan for this. Alright, so out of all the boards you could apply for, Rachel, why Park and Rec?
I want to be part of the kids. I'm used to it, softball, we traveled all over the world. I wanted to try to help the kids, hopefully bring more stuff to Sylacauga, more to do, get more kids involved.
Okay, that sounds good. So let me ask you, what skills or experiences or perspectives do you think, if selected, you would bring to the board as a board member?
So, I've had a lot to do, I've been in baseball all my life. My brother played ball for Sylacauga. I think Nate may know him, Zach Pearson.
Yes.
And so I've been in ball all my life. Then my child played softball since she was 4. And I go over to the ball field a lot and, watch Leanne, the owner of the public pharmacy, her little boy plays. And, I think over there just looking at stuff and I thought, hey, I can do this, try to make a difference, try to help the kids, see what we can bring to Sylacauga.
Okay, all right. So, those were the only questions I have, so I'm gonna start down here with Laura to see what, questions she had.
What skills do you think that you bring to the table?
So I have recently gotten like my, certification in children's, diabetes. I can help with that if we see, we can help kids get out and do stuff and exercise and, encourage kids and help them with that kind of stuff. That's a lot of Sylacauga. A lot of people don't realize a lot of kids here have high blood pressure and diabetes. And, I would hope I could help with that and have some ideas for us to do for kids, so kids are getting exercise and getting out in the community.
Yeah, because most of them now, they're glued to these tablets or phones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just being more active.
That's all I have.
All right, Tim?
I'm gonna kinda ask my same question. What do you believe is a real big important issue for the kids and the sports of Sylacauga and the community?
For them to have what we need, the resources. If I feel like if we have the resources and get out and find these kids that are on tablets and computers all the time and bring them, people will come. We, advertise, get out there, invite people, just if we can show them, yes, this is what we're doing, this is what we got, we have the resources, I think we'd have more involvement.
Okay. Nate?
Tell me about your leadership skills, how your leadership will perform on this board if you're selected.
I give 110%. Everything I do. I've got 7 or 8 certifications as a pharmacy technician. Obviously, I keep my job. I'd like to help the community.
Sure.
That's my biggest thing, is getting out, making Sylacauga something it needs to be.
Okay.
I don't have any questions, thank you.
Well, Rachel, we do appreciate your willingness to serve, and I'm so sorry, I only knew you by your maiden name, I didn't even realize
That's all
who
right.
you were. But, I do want to ask you, do you have any questions for us?
I don't. Mm-mm.
Okay,
No.
so again, thank you for your willingness to serve. We're gonna make a decision on park and rec at the next meeting.
Okay.
I think we have one more if, he showed up, but since we did interviews tonight, we can't make a decision tonight, so we will have an answer at the next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you,
All right.
Rachel, it was so
All
good
right.
to see you.
Y'all have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
This is the first
I will say
I just
that.
got the same little strip I keep asking about, that's it, the same.
No, I'm talking about with in-house stuff, how we use that, this is going on, this is going on, blah, 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 blah.
Well, don't nobody talk to you.
I love it.
All right, so, y'all ready?
Just let me stand and just.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and, start the meeting. We do have a, public hearing set for 6 o'clock, so as you come in, there is a sign-in sheet. We would like for you to, sign in, please. All right, so we're gonna ask, Pastor Chris Stylacker to open us up in prayer tonight.
All right, thank you. I invite you to pray with me. God, thank you for the freedoms that you have blessed our great nation with. Father, especially as we celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary. God, no time is better than now to just reflect on and be grateful for the leaders that have been elected and appointed in our community. And so, God, I just ask you to guide their thoughts, their decision-making, God, their words and their actions. May they be pleasing to you, uplifting to this community, and done in the spirit of moving our community forward. God, may their decisions benefit this community, and may they set aside any personal ambitions or personal gain, God, in the name of just serving others through elected service. God, thank you for, again, the freedom that we have to assemble and to come together and to govern in this country of ours. God, I just lay all this at your feet, and I pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you for that, Pastor Stylacker. All right, first on the agenda, discussion only, Executive Director Brian Cone of the Commercial Development Authority to introduce the Sylacauga Urban Renewal Plan. You doing all right tonight, Brian?
I'm doing good. Thank you for allowing me to be here this evening. I hope that you each had an opportunity to look over the packet that you were given from the CDA. Over the years, there's been a lot of discussion sometimes and just having a clear understanding of exactly what the CDA does, what we do. And I think this urban renewal strategy is going to help you in that you're going to be directly responsible for giving us a lot of the direction of what you want to see happen in the city. It's actually a really unified strategy that ensures that the CDA is operating in the best interest of the community and that its partners are working in a coordinated framework which is responsible for the economic development and redevelopment and long-term economic growth of our community. It's equally important to note that the CDA provides or needs a clear mandate from you guys, the City Council, regarding the city's redevelopment priorities, rather than operating independently and simply reacting to opportunities as they arise, which has been the way it has operated in the past. Through this, the CDA is empowered to pursue projects that directly support the goals established by the city of Sylacauga. It's not that we won't take on individual projects under our own might, but we want clear direction from you. This is one of the things that the board has challenged me with. And also, Brian Cash, our attorney, has said that it's necessary for us to be able to move forward. I know that Tim and that the mayor are very aware of many of the projects that we're currently working on, as so often is when you're talking about economic things, just as you go into executive session to discuss those things. These are things that oftentimes we're not able to necessarily discuss publicly. But there are several things which are in the works right now that we will need to work with you on. One of them in particular is a very large project, and I can tell you this much: if we're allowed and we can move forward with the project, we're talking about the development of a subdivision which will be somewhere between 60 to 70 homes, a hotel, a daycare facility, and an assisted living facility, and probably some outcroppings of some professional office buildings and some other things. And there's going to be a lot that's going to have to go into the coordination of that effort, and we're going to need to work very closely with you guys to make that happen. But there are other things that we need that this directive brings to the table for us, and that it puts us in a position that we are more competitive in terms of being able to access and gain state and federal grant opportunities. It will support future infrastructure in our community and those funding requests that are needed. It provides justification for certain redevelopment that's necessary and certain incentives that are needed to pull these things together. It creates a documented basis for property acquisition, disposition, and redevelopment efforts. It helps us to recruit developers by showing that we have a real city policy that they can count on. It establishes redevelopment priorities before other opportunities might arise. It will provide to us a deeper continuity between the mayor, between the council, and our CDA board. And it will demonstrate that we are confident and will do our due diligence when necessary regarding the various efforts that we are pursuing. And lastly, it will be a great strengthening factor in the city's position in determining and pursuing various transformational projects and different corridor developments that you see. Those windows of opportunity are in that packet of information regarding housing initiatives and also downtown revitalization. I asked Brian Cash to come tonight, and he's not here on the city's dime. The CDA is covering his expense for being here because I knew that you would have questions regarding why this is important, especially concerning the projects that we have upcoming. And so if you have any questions or concerns regarding what you've seen so far, then I'm available to answer them, and Brian's here also.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Madam President, can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Will this kind of coincide some with the nuisance and abatement board, with what they're doing? Because I've noticed, some of the things about the blight, deterioration, impairing conditions. Will y'all kind of work along with them on
It
this?
opens the door for us to be
Okay.
able to come in and work beside them. In other words, Brian, you can answer this question better than I can, but a lot of times these dilapidated properties, the city as a municipality has to be very careful in terms of real estate investment and acquisition and so forth. But we have allowable opportunities that the city doesn't have, and that's our sole purpose. But I'll let Brian address that.
Yes, and I figure y'all, part of the genesis of that is, just to reassure the council, the way this came up is, we were talking about, because a lot of times there's a pre-screening, and we're gonna tell people, look, the city of Sylacauga, we got questions you have to answer, there's certain factors that the council's gonna look at. So in the pre-screening, there's a discussion of like, what's the relationship between the CDA, the council, and all these things? And the thing with the CDA statute that's important is, and why the plan's important is, the CDA can take in property and things like that, but to exercise its legal powers, it needs to have a project. So it needs to be an urban renewal project or a redevelopment project. And so as we were talking, we had done this, I'd worked on one in Huntsville for the Madison Square Mall, so they did an urban renewal plan for that. We have a lot of these in Birmingham, so a lot of my clients have to use this. So to really use all the powers that the CDA has, you need to have an urban renewal plan for certain defined areas. And it's something the council will come back and examine from time to time. Now, the blight in that regard is not just run down or bad. It means that sometimes the property is set up in a way, or maybe have a recalcitrant landowner, or you need to assemble properties. Sometimes the CDA will need to hold properties for commercial or residential for a period of time, which is not like a city power. So this is just to expand the power, but it doesn't change like where the council would be approving incentives or anything like that. All those things would still need to be approved. The CDA is still an instrumentality of the city, so none of that changes. But it does unlock a little more power for the CDA to do things on some of these projects. So like an example to what you're saying is, if there's a blighted property and we abate it, and then we file like an assessment, we could eventually foreclose that assessment, and we could give the property to the CEDA to assemble a new development project or something like that.
So is the process quicker for the CDA versus what we're doing on our nuisance and abatement board? Like what's the difference? What changes?
The one difference is with the nuisance and abatement, those are buildings that are like dangerous, a true condemnation, and would probably have to be torn down or remediated. But with this urban renewal, this would just be, properties here would be like it would be the same process if the council was condemning a property for a governmental use. So not in the dangerous sense, but to acquire for a governmental use or for an economic development use. So it would be different. You wouldn't be able to use this plan to tear down the buildings that need to be torn down necessarily, unless you wanted to acquire it and give it to the CDA.
A good example would be the property that most recently was just torn down right here. Okay, if you decided to pursue that, then you have a greater basis for pursuing that, because the CDA could then take that and develop that property.
Right.
Are there stipulations that once you take a property that you must develop it? I mean, or does it just sit there vacant? What are the?
Sure, if it were to get foreclosed.
Let's think about this.
It can, there would be, so the CDA is typically gonna be focused on commercial, but I think CDAs can take in property and, move it over, if it's okay with the city, to someone like, to do residential development.
Okay.
But in the case of just foreclosing a house that's been demolished, for y'all's assessment, that's a little trickier.
Okay.
Wouldn't exactly, but if there are a lot of properties, like if we find in the development area, the renewal area, that we've got, say, 5 properties, and we want to, then that's something that could be examined, could be sent over to be redeveloped.
If, like if you've got a building on Broadway that's in good shape, it might be painted green and y'all don't like it. This don't involve none of that, right? You can't go in there and say, you gotta repaint your building.
No.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I was kind of, when I was reading over some of this, I was kind of saying, well, that's kind of touching and I don't want to be able to hurt current business owners.
No.
Yeah.
Especially if they got a nice building, whether I like the color or the owning they have or not, as long as they keep it up.
Yeah, no, wouldn't have anything to do with that.
Okay.
I'm a little confused too. So you're basically gonna be targeting areas, just for commercial use. So you're not, cause just listening to what you said, Mr. Cash, or it wasn't you, it was probably Brian, you said that, say we wanted to, there was a house that we needed to use for commercial. We're not about to be trying to buy people out of their homes because we need that spot for some commercial development, you know?
No, I mean, if there's an opportunity that someone wants to sell, they're, you know, that's but
Yeah.
nuisance and abatement is, that's not our primary interest in this. Our primary interest is being able to operationally go after these grants. Even greater is to be able to form PPPs, private-public partnerships, and we need this directive already in place so that we can enter those type of agreements. And then you've got other examples. I mean, in terms of, for instance, the project that we're currently developing, sometimes we need various studies. We need a environmental study. And then we can go after a grant because we're operating under this directive and have that expense covered.
Yeah, and I also see up under the funding sources, the first one, it says municipal funds and capital improvement allocations. So just listening to you, it kind of sounds like, you know, we may select the spot that the city may go in and develop, you know, put utilities and so on and so forth, hoping that somebody, you know, would come and take this spot and we would get our money back. I know you would say on, sales tax or so on and so forth, but that, by signing this, I don't know, wouldn't that put the city on the hook for basically as a funding source?
No, we can't do anything like that without your pre-approval. So we can't just go.
So this is just a plan, all
It's
this
just-
is
that's
a
all it
plan.
is. It's just a
Alright,
plan.
so
It
it doesn't
didn't-
authorize the CDA,
No.
okay, alright, so all this
No.
is a wish list, a plan, this is what we would
Well,
like to do.
it tells us, and to be able to show and demonstrate to other developers, to grant, to the state associations, federal associations that might give us grants, and to property owners that we're operating under the CD's guidance. In other words, you've got our backs. And then anything that we want to do, if it's gonna create an expenditure that is above our current line item, we've gotta come to you. We can't just sign anything. We're gonna have to involve you, and this just is a show of good faith, so the developers we're working with say, well, they're working together, they're on the same page, and we can go deeper into our discussions a lot of times that way.
And
This would
that-
be what you would use, this plan would be what you would use to go to an Innovate Alabama, Rebuild Alabama, any sort of grant that's out there through the Alabama
Absolutely.
Department of Commerce. This plan affords you that dialogue.
They want to know that we're not a lone ranger authority that's just out there, just running willy-nilly, just doing whatever we, and honestly, that's the way we operate. And it's just not, it's not right.
So this is a plan, sort of like a strategic plan of some measure.
Yes.
Right, part of it is the way the statute is just, And we did double check all this, so it says the CDA can do all these things, and y'all probably seen the whole list of things. But what you notice is the only thing it says it can do without a plan, which means an urban renewal or redevelopment plan, is acquire property. All the other powers, none, you can't get the grants, you can't get any of that stuff. So the idea is to have a plan in place in advance. Like another way it could be used, but you'd still need the council, is if you have a property owner, like you were giving an example about residential. Some residential might need to become commercial, but you got somebody who's holding out. So the CDA and the council can handle that to assemble the property to make a larger development. That would be, but it wouldn't necessarily be that, just to clarify, when we talk about blight, sometimes means different things in different contexts. But with the nuisance abatement and the dangerous type buildings, that means falling in. This just means could be brought to a better, higher use. Not necessarily saying that we're gonna be tearing down, this wouldn't involve like tearing down houses unless that's what the redevelopment plan down the road called for.
Coming back to your question though, Tim, about a building downtown, now if there's one that's down there that's just completely falling apart, okay, then the city council can direct the CDA, and we can come to you under this directive and say, hey, we need to do something about this property. We need to get the nuisance and abatement more involved and bring them, now they do their job, we're not involved in that. And then after that, then you can take the property and then, if and when, time down the road, that it's foreclosed on, assign that to the CDA, because there's dangerous, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but the city gets into dangerous ground when it starts foreclosing on properties and getting into real estate speculation. But that's what the CDA is for, that's our job.
That's right.
I have a lot of questions, a lot of them. I see Wynn just walked in. Wynn, did you, take a look at this? Did you take a look at this? The, urban renewal and redevelopment plan, phase 1?
I have, yeah, Ron sent it to me, I'm sorry.
So does this conflict with, the nuisance abatement board? Also see, like the downtown historical district and things like this? Does this take away powers from the other boards?
It just kind
I didn't think it
of
did.
flows together, I guess, is the way that I perceive it.
So, rolling this up in a little ball, you gotta have this to attract and be able to get grants and do things to further the city to get nice buildings, nice places,
Right.
and be able to move forward.
As Brian stated, right now, the only portion of state code that we legally comply with, okay? And these are things that, now that I'm an employee of the board, I'm giving a lot more time to it, that I'm discovering, and going to Birmingham, having lunch with Brian and learning, that we've got to have these things in place because we've got all this state code, and there's one portion of it that applies to us that we can operate, that we can do right now, and that's buying and reselling properties. Everything else, where other places are growing and prospering and doing, is because their CDA or their economic development authority, whoever that might be, is operating with a full directive, and so they qualify for everything under the Alabama State Code. And right now, we don't, because
We don't
we don't
one of
have this
these.
directive.
Right.
So Brian, did you write this or did you just adopt it and then just made it applicable to Sylacauga, like from other CDAs?
I spent 4 months researching and working on that and pulling others from other cities.
And just made it fit to us?
And then dedicated it to us. But before I did that, our attorneys had it for several weeks before I got the approval to go ahead and submit to you guys.
So, everybody's Wynn and Mr. Cash has looked over this and it's all good.
And you're asking for, and you want us to consider this at the next meeting, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have any more questions for, the Brian?
I don't think so. I like it now that I'm more educated on it. I really do.
And if you have any questions, I'm always available, phone, text, email, whatever.
Nate, Chris?
I don't have anything to say.
I have no questions. I'm actually involved in, through Auburn University for economic development. So I believe in this for our city, and we've got to embrace economic development. So I appreciate you bringing this forward, and I hope we can all learn more about this plan and other plans and how it will affect us moving forward with developers and also grant opportunities.
Well, thank you, Mr. Tony and Mr. Cash.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is,
And we got some stuff up here, but I don't know if we got that.
Thank you, Michael.
I think he blew it up.
Yeah,
The map guy like that.
So I'll kind of talk as I pass this out. When we began this project May of last year, we started looking at, you have a couple, yes. We started looking at what, there's a structurally deficient culvert bridge or whatever on the current Lake Louise Road from Alabama Avenue. And there's a serious flooding issue, obviously, at that bridge also. So how do we repair the bridge structurally and also try to mitigate flooding that closes the road down, also. So it's kind of a two-part thing, but when you really get to looking at it, there's two creeks that converge right downstream of that Lake Louise crossing, and until Alabama Avenue is upgraded, there's a 4-barrel culvert that's owned by the county right there. Until that is upgraded, there's nothing that we can really do upstream on Lake Louise to fix that flooding issue. So you're gonna spend a lot of money, or if you replace it as is right now, you're gonna spend money to replace that existing structure, and the road's still gonna flood, and you're still gonna have no way to get people out, in emergency situations. So then we got to look in what are alternatives to that? How do we do it? And the city owns property along Old Birmingham Highway that connects all the way into all the residents at Lake Louise. And then so we looked at schematically, is it even possible? Does the city have the clear right of way? Do they have the clear property to be able to do it? Got with Wynn, looked at it, and the city does own the property back to connect in with Lake Louise. And so this was an alternative to replacing the existing culvert on Lake Louise from Alabama. Instead of doing that, flipping it and having all those people access Old Birmingham Highway instead of Alabama Avenue.
And that's my district out there, and I've spoke with people out there. And, when it rains a lot, they get trapped out there, and there's one way in, one way out, and this would alleviate them being trapped in their neighborhood. We have torrential downpours pretty much.
I think it's great. I actually registered for some of them, but Mr. Brian lives out there.
Yeah.
And they don't have a problem
No.
with it going that way at all.
Not at all. Mr. Green, all of them out there would be very appreciative to not have to worry every time it rains if they're gonna be able to get in and out of their neighborhood.
So obviously, the contract amendment for us, and what I wanted to discuss with y'all is we didn't have some items, and when you replace an existing structure as is, there's things you don't have to do, but when you build a whole new road through, a wooded area, there's other things that you've got to do environmentally to make sure you're okay. One, you've got to get Fish and Wildlife approval, Corps of Engineers approval, endangered species. You got to make sure that all those things are compliant when you build this new road. So that's part of the contract amendment. And then the other part is, we don't have any geotechnical information on where this road's gonna go. So before we, would put a bid or a contract out, we would wanna drill and make sure that the dirt and the geological formation is suitable for this roadway. And so that's the two changes. And obviously, we surveyed one side of that road. Now we're having to come back, and we had to get Ray and Gillen to come back and survey the other side. So those are the three changes that are before y'all.
Michael, if I may, Madam President, just a couple of things. Are we going to be interrupting anyone's property while we're doing this? Because, you know, people get a little skeptical about their property when construction happens and things start going on. I mean, we're not gonna be, I know where the road is and I know how close the property is to the road.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna manage around it? Because, you know, once you come around, go over the bridge, and come around the curve, it kind of gets narrow because you have homes on each side.
Okay.
So we're not gonna be taking anybody's property away through the length of time while we're building this road, are we?
Correct. So I mean, like, just for access, you know, the thought would be leave the existing access from Alabama while the new road is being built.
Right.
Once that new portion gets built, then you can flip traffic and have them come out the old and then take out the structurally deficient, you know, bridge and culvert at that
Okay.
point.
Okay.
But as far as right-of-way or property taking, there's really, if you look on the sketch that you guys have, there's very limited improvements on what it's called, the plat refers to it as Farm Road,
Right.
but that's where most of the residents are out there in the Lake Louise community.
That's correct.
There's one house at the very end that accesses from, you know, we show it as Lake Louise Road, but this kind of east-west road on your map, there's one driveway that will have to access that. So we'll have to, you know, we'll have to work with them during construction.
Sure.
But we're not getting on their property
Okay.
or taking any of their property.
Right, and-
We're tying into their driveway would be the plan.
And once it's complete, I know, me and Coach Hubbard's had this conversation, and I'm gonna make sure I'm right, because, you know, my wires will get crossed. Once we're done, it'll be one way in and one way out? Is that correct? On the new road from Old Birmingham Highway, you'll come in and you have to turn around at the end and come back out to Old Birmingham Highway. You won't be coming in from Old Birmingham Highway going back to, Alabama Avenue, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. Now, we've ran a couple of simulations and, you know, I've got to sit down and meet with Chief Nate and make sure he's good with it. But down there at the very, I'll call it the old entrance to the Lake Louise, I don't know if it was a
Swimming
park
pool.
or, yeah, recreation area right there. It's got like a little hammerhead that you can turn around an emergency vehicle.
Right.
If they want improvements to that, we will have to include it in
Sure.
this, just for safety access,
Right.
turnaround.
I think this right here, Council, this right here doesn't just open a new way to that neighborhood and, to replace that bridge. This could open up some other doors for us later down the road to develop some of that around here, because we own all this around here.
I think it's a great idea, and I appreciate you and Matt both going out there and walking the property and looking at it. I know my constituents will be very happy.
I have a couple questions. So, when you started this project, obviously you had to have communications with the county. What roadblocks did you have with the county on making the repairs needed to Alabama Avenue to effectively fix the culvert, which would effectively fix this problem?
Yeah.
What roadblocks came up from that?
So when you look at the drainage area to that site, and I don't have those numbers in front of me, but it's several thousand acres, and it starts almost up at the quarry. And then all that at Shirty Creek, I think it's called Shirty Creek, runs beside Walmart down there underneath Old Birmingham Highway. That's where all that goes as well. When you look at how many acres drain to there, it becomes pretty apparent that 4-barrel culvert that the county maintains right there at Alabama is not adequate for that. And so I started asking, well, are there any plans to improve it? Is this going to be, because if this is going to be replaced, then maybe we can just replace ours and wait on the county to fix theirs. And they said there's no plan to replace that bridge. And if you look at the flood maps right there, that 100-year floodplain is very wide. And it's zone A, which means it has not been studied. So to put a structure in there, you got to do a very detailed flood study to figure out how big, how much do we have to dig it up, how much do we have to build it up, what properties would be affected. I think it's just, I don't want to speak for the county, but it is a large undertaking to improve that crossing.
And also, it would affect other property like Cloverdale and.
So that's what I wanted to
Yeah,
ask.
yes.
Does this culvert directly impact other subdivisions within our city?
you talking about the current Alabama Avenue crossing? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, as you mentioned, the Walmart, the ditch that goes into this culvert that is inadequate, which is what you said just a minute ago, inadequate, but the county owns, and this ditch follows all the way out to what other subdivisions that would be directly affected by the flooding that you know about.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to go to the county and say something's wrong with that culvert. Structurally, it's okay, just from a flooding overtopping standpoint. When you get a large 100-year rain event, it's going to overtop the road, right? And that's why FEMA has established that map that said it's gonna flood in here. You can't build in here.
You know, we all know and understand the infrastructure issues of our city.
Yeah.
And what I've watched is this piecemealing of things being fixed here, but then that causes something over here. And, this is a great plan, and I do understand, that this would open up some opportunities for different things, which I am in favor of. But I want to be sure that when we are talking infrastructure here, we are also looking at who we need to talk to, that if we do this affects that and the infrastructure as a whole. And I know Mayor Hubbard is aware of that, there are other issues that are affected by what we do here. And so I just want to make sure that we're on the same page here, and maybe that's a dialogue that we need to have with the county.
I haven't looked at what improvements need to be made to Alabama. My guess is it's probably a 70 to 100-foot bridge that would need to be installed right there. I don't know that, but I haven't looked at what improvements need to be made to Alabama, and then subsequently, when you open that up so that Alabama Avenue don't flood, what is it gonna do downstream?
And that's where Cloverdale would probably experience more flooding.
So
Right now,
that is a
actually
very
way
complicated,
smaller.
large study.
And this has been happening since I was a kid. That's why
Yeah,
Lake
it's
Louise
not-
Pool
Cloverdale hasn't been happening.
is put on the hill.
So, Michael, remind me, how much of this is out of pocket for the city?
I think this was one of the drainage
what
bond
this was
projects,
for?
in my understanding.
Okay. What's the difference between the price before the change? Is the price,
So are you on our fee?
yeah, just the, whatever the city is, well, we're out of pocket the entire, price, so did it go up because of the change order?
Yes, so the engineering fee went up, I think it was, I may have the numbers backwards, like 4,000 for the additional survey, 9,000 maybe for the geotech, and 10,000 for the environmental. That was in my increased cost. Now, I don't remember exactly what the city plugged in for
I
the
get it, so
construction of
the
that.
increases is $24,000.
Yes, ma'am. As far as like overall, I don't know what the city plugged in for the total construction of Lake Louise when they got the bond. I'm not sure the exact number on that.
And we're still, good to cover that with the increased Cassie? All right,
One more thing.
go ahead.
On the Alabama Avenue, a culvert that me, you, and Mr. Mark Tapley talked about, the railroad trestle, that's where a lot of that water runs through also, out there on the box. But we gotta get you to the Box Mill Road.
Yes.
Because there's a railroad trestle that the railroad's used forever, but the city owns it. Avondale gave it to the city, okay? And I think Wynn can find the paperwork, I hope he can anyway, where we own that, because we need some work done around that trestle. That's one of the main channels that leads out to Cloverdale, because all the water from there runs underway.
And
I mean, it gets boxed up right there, and that's how we flood here, and that's how we flood over on Avondale. We gotta get you to the Box Mill Road to look at that.
Yeah, because that's actually in my district. I talked to the previous interim street superintendent, and they were talking about tearing down that trestle because it dams up a lot and gets stuck.
I don't think we're gonna tear it down. I think we can fix
Because
it
it's
though.
not- Yeah.
So is that, but that's not what's on, Michael's list tonight, so.
No,
we'll
it's
just-
just something he needs to
All right.
look at.
And then we'll just get with the mayor so he can get with Michael on that. And, do we have any more questions about the,
I don't.
the Lake Louise?
Sorry, I got off topic.
It's okay, we just have a public hearing.
That's right.
So I do wanna remind everybody, we do have a public hearing, and we do have to start the meeting at 6 o'clock. So as you came in, there was a sign-in sheet, so if you did not sign in, we are asking that you do sign in. All right, so Michael, we, also have you for number 3. It is to discuss proposal for tar and gravel at Boat Dock Lane at Lake Howard.
Yes, ma'am. So, some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know, we've been trying to work on a solution to get something done on Boat Dock Lane for some time now. And the biggest problem has been the 15-ton, load posted bridge, the first one there on Lake Howard Road. And we finally got a plan to be able to manage some of the materials and stockpile some of the materials on this side of the bridge and just kind of truck them to the job site and perform the work with smaller trucks. And to basically just try to get some improvement on Boat Dock Lane. And so what we did is we sought just proposals from contractors. It was under the Public Works bid law threshold of $100,000. So we sought out, we contacted 4 qualified contractors. We had 2 responses. They were close. I think one was like 104, the other one was 98, or 106, I'm sorry, the other one was 98. So if the city wishes, we have those proposals and contractors, they would be ready to move forward to do Boat Dock Lane.
That is gonna be paid for through the 2000, through the bond that we need to use, or it will go back in.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of options for funding source. You have some bond proceeds from a 2017 bond that needs to be used.
I think that's what we originally said.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hold on, my bad. So you said you have a couple proposals, so is this something that we're gonna get, Mayor, y'all gonna do it like the scoring card the same way as the last thing, or? I think I got a little bit, are we gonna be presented did I get the proposals for us to look
Yeah,
at?
I'd like to see
Yes,
them.
ma'am. I think we were late. I don't know if they got in the agenda package. We received proposals Friday, and I think we sent a recommendation letter yesterday. I've got a copy.
That's what I'm saying, so is this something we're trying to do the same way you did that last thing, Mayor, where you and Cassie did the scoring card, or no?
No, this would just be actual project itself. It's just
Okay.
This is just contractor quotes.
All right, so we'll just get it, and then we'll be able to make a decision at the next meeting? Okay, that's what, okay, all right.
And this came from the Lake Howard Authority meeting we had on like April 15th.
Okay.
Everybody was kind of eager to see if we could get something.
Yeah, I
done.
think
I kinda
everybody,
agree
yeah, I
with
think everybody's ready to just go ahead and just get that project knocked out, especially since we have this money that we need to go ahead and use, so what better way to use it?
Can you tell them once it begins, how quickly from beginning to end?
So the little information scope of work we sent out to bidders was, we gave them 10 working days. That's kind of 2 weeks for them to do it, and I've said they can't do it on Friday, they can't have any work on Fridays or Sunday. I know that's probably the busiest time. I know it's closed on Mondays anyways. So it would be a 2-week period of Monday through Thursday. And they would have to give the city 7 days notice before they would move in, that way they
And
can
we
let
can just
everybody
close it
know.
down for those 2 weeks, complete the work.
So
and
Monday
then
through
just open
Thursday,
it
those
back
2
up.
weeks.
And the Lake Howard Authority knows that as well?
They have not seen any of this. We got the proposals Friday, and we've sent the recommendation letter, and so we're speaking to y'all about it, but they were aware that we were seeking them after that Lake Howard Authority meeting.
Right, okay. I'm cool.
All right, any questions on that? All right, thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael, good to see you.
All right, next item is, the Greater Birmingham Humane Society. I think, I asked, Cassie to get us a copy of this printed, and we just got this today. I don't think anybody really had a chance to go over it. So what we're gonna do, Cassie, we're just gonna take this home and go over it, and then we're gonna get this added to the next meeting.
For both?
Yeah,
Okay.
and decide if this is the way we wanna go. Let me ask, so I didn't get the latest contact information, so if we have any questions, who are we sending our questions to?
I don't have one here. I know the mayor sent it to our email.
So Mayor, are you, I don't know, I really would like
Can I
for us
have
to
one
sit
of
down
them,
and
please?
discuss
Yeah,
this. I think we need to discuss it. I don't know if we're gonna be able to.
That's fine,
Vote on it, but I do think we need to take it home and go over it.
but can we vote on it at the next meeting, you think?
I don't know. I had-
Discuss and related vote?
Yeah, I hadn't looked, I mean, we just got it a few hours ago.
You're asking for contact information?
Yeah, for questions, is it in here? Yeah, who do we, ask our questions to? If I have any questions about this.
I guess that would be Allison, wouldn't
Yeah, but there's no, it's just her title, there's no email and her phone
Sure.
number. Cass, if you would, just, thank you, if that makes sense. All right, next on the agenda, discussion only, discussion that is necessary by Councilmember Nate Brewer regarding nuisance abatement board member appointments.
Okay, council, as you know, we're trying to get our nuisance abatement board back established. We need to give Ms. Cassie the names to the people that's going to represent your district that's on our nuisance abatement, that will be on the nuisance abatement board. Mine will be Tristan Smith for District 3, Ms. Cassie.
And mine is Antonio Stamps for District 2.
Mine is James Sharbert for District 5.
it? Mine is Doug Murphy for District 4.
Mine is Wendell Scott for District 1.
And Cass, I think we need to formally do that, or is
We
it
can
a?
have them in the record for the work session minutes, and that would be.
Sounds good, so they can go ahead and have their next meeting.
You have mine, don't you?
We're going to need to get phone numbers and email addresses to Ms. Cassie so they can reach out and let them know when the next board meetings are, and so we can start those meetings back.
All right, did everybody hear that?
Yes, I sent Kathy mine earlier today.
Okay, all right, thanks, Nate.
Thanks, Madam President.
All right, next on the agenda is discussion that is necessary by Chief Rondell Muse to introduce police department personnel, new hires, and promotions since 2025. You all right tonight, Chief?
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all for giving me a chance to come before you. The council requested that new employees be introduced to them. So I'm going back to 2025. Now, there are 30 of us, there was 31. I had to let one go because he didn't meet our standards. That being said, there are 4 in the oven cooking. So as the council meetings come up, I introduce them to you. So first of all, Kyle Smith.
Behind.
This is Officer Kyle Smith. He's hired May 19, 2025. He comes from Columbiana PD. He was here before, left, and decided the grass wasn't better on the other side and came back.
Well, welcome back.
All right.
It's nice to meet you, Kyle.
Jonathan Ledbetter. Jonathan's hired oh crap, July. Look at that. Who put November in there? You know that? Anyway, July 14, 2025, Talladega County Sheriff's Office. Jonathan's our second SRO. He and Harry Brown take care of our schools, and so if you need anything, all right.
Jonathan, we've been claiming you for years.
Matt Johnson. Come on up here, pal. Matt Johnson was hired November 17, 2025, comes from Talladega County Sheriff's Office. Real good guy, bilingual, holler at.
Nice to meet you.
Antonio Meadows. Tony, as we call him, was hired July 16, 2025. He comes from Market PD, canine officer. Joshua Kirkwood is not here. He was hired January 1st, 2026. He's currently in the Northeast Alabama Law Enforcement Academy. However, his partner, Andrew Benson, Andrew also was hired January 1st, 2026. Andrew's in the administration division and going through the field training process. He too was at the academy, but him and the bed had a little incident. So he had to get healed up, but we'll get him going in August.
Nice to meet you, Chief. Just telling all your business, didn't
Yeah, I'm gonna put it out there
They
now.
want transparency, don't they, Chief?
That's it.
That's what they want.
Leighton Moser, hired April 20th, 2026, Coosa County Sheriff's Department. Only dude I know that's got one of those high dollar Teslas. Really? I'm like, where you work at? This is Leighton.
Nice to meet you.
Lloyd Shaw. Lord said, what is he gonna say about me? Lord hired June 1st, 2026. He's from Birmingham PD. He decided to bring all that expertise down here for us small town folks and help us learn something.
We appreciate it.
Now, promotion time. At the PD, promotions it's good for some, sad for others. It's always a trying time. I'm sure you can relate to that. However, I want to introduce you tonight. Promotions were made last week, and I want to introduce you tonight to Lieutenant Ledbetter. Lieutenant Stephen Ledbetter has been a drug task force member. He's been in investigations. He's a firearms instructor, and he's the jokester of the department. So, you know, if somebody pulls some on you, he done it.
He's my Citizens Police Academy partner.
That's right. So, thank you. All these promotions were made in the best interest of the city and the department as a whole.
Chief, is he lieutenant patrol or?
He's Lieutenant Night Watch, B shift. He was currently in training right now, but he's coming out.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Lieutenant Chris Benson. Lieutenant Benson's been with us 15 years, 13 years in investigations. He's our taser instructor. He's the guy when he says, I'm gonna get you, he does that. He's our CSI. Pulling him out of investigations, hate to do it, but that's just the way it happens. He's our day watch lieutenant.
We appreciate you, Chris. Thank you for all you do.
And last but not least, Sergeant Josh Morris. Sergeant Morris been here 5 years now. He was here, he left and went to Shelby County, again decided the grass went green on the other side, and he came back. Sergeant Morris is also in investigations. I'm having to pull him out too. He's going to training. So our investigation division is, I know something you don't ever want to do, but it's totally flipped. So we'll get it together, and that's all I have.
Well, we did ask for this and I do appreciate it, but I do think these guys need to be recognized. Can we get a picture with the promotions and one with the new hires? I mean, we appreciate it.
Whatever you pay.
You want them set?
No,
Y'all the
we-
council, we work for y'all. Well, we work for him, to be honest.
Well, we work together,
Everybody?
So that's two pictures, one with the promotions and then one with the new hires.
Let's go.
Wanna make sure you guys
You
are-
the chief of police. If I got you. You better get on over here.
I'll break the camera.
Chris, I think, Chris. No, not yet, it's two pictures, so these are the promotions. All right, y'all, let's go. All right, everybody smile.
Everybody look here real quick. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Don't let, but everybody say number 4.
There's pictures everywhere. Who would look at them?
Just look at the middle.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3. That's it.
All right, set everybody for this one? I didn't see Cassie, we're good?
Taking a picture.
Oh, okay, all right, so now with the new hires, thank you guys. Congratulations.
Y'all square on the ramp.
All right, ready?
Good.
All right, Don, then I can't see.
Okay.
There we go. All right. There we go. All right, everybody looking right here. 1, 2, 3. All right.
My turn.
Y'all knew y'all weren't leaving a picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 1, 2, 3. And 1.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for that, Chief. All right, next on the agenda, we have, discussion and related vote, discussion that is necessary by Assistant Animal Shelter Manager Trish Smith to recommend an education increase of 2 steps related to a bachelor's degree in criminal justice for Animal Control Officer Garens, effective as of the beginning of pay period June 13th, 2026. Hey Trish, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good, good.
Sorry, y'all, I'm a little nervous. So somehow when Brandon was hired, his education was overlooked, and I just became aware that he does have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So we would just like his pay to reflect that.
So, are you saying he already had it when he was hired, Trish?
Yes.
I do have a question.
Okay.
I really don't see how it affects, it's pertaining to his job since he's not under the police department.
Well, it was just on the list of the approved that we have.
And it said bachelor's degree in criminal justice?
Yeah, I have a picture of the list, but it
It's
was
in the
one
job
of the
description.
fields of study.
It's on your list.
On our new list?
Right here. It's right here. It's got it listed under the
Yeah.
animal control officer.
There was one on the degree in fields of study.
I remember questioning.
Is that saying what, is this what he's required to have the job?
No,
No,
that
that's
is what's
for-
eligible to get an education raise for that.
Okay.
The reason it was originally put on the list is because the nature of his job deals with issuing citations and upholding laws that relate to animal control. So that was the reason why criminal justice was considered and put on the list.
Okay, and you're just asking for it to be, just considered during this pay period?
Forward.
Okay. All right, anybody else have any questions on this one?
And the reason this question is because we have a policy, if you have a degree and it doesn't pertain to your job, and we usually don't give you credit for it. See, I think this right here was, I know I overlooked this part right here myself, because I wouldn't, in my mind, I don't see how your criminal justice degree would be helpful in the, position that you're in. Nothing against you, I'm just trying to rack my mind around that little bit of business.
All right, one more question though, Trish. Was it on his paperwork when he got hired? Was this on us or was it not
So
presented?
I was not involved in the hiring process, so I cannot say how it got overlooked. I was just made aware that he had it, and we were going over it. We were just looking because he's about to start taking the certification. So we were just looking at it, and he just mentioned to me that he had this degree.
Okay, okay, thank you so much for
I hate it,
explaining that.
guys.
So the bachelor's degree was actually on the application, so
It was?
It was.
So it was an oversight on our end?
whoever you want to call it.
That's what we'll
I saw
call
his
it.
application, but.
Was your 3-month and 6-month evaluation completed?
Just now, yeah, it happened like last
Oh.
week, I believe.
So why are we recommending step 2 besides going to step 1? Because I have my ruthers and my wishes on who he ought to be under.
I do
Because
too.
right now, he can't even go write a citation for a dog. He can't do nothing but what the animal shelter directs him to. And they have no arrest powers, no nothing, no ticket powers, no nothing.
Right.
You can't even write a citation for a dog without a leash.
Yeah, but according to this though, Tim,
And I don't want it that way. I want you to be under the police department and you be directed by Chief Muse, and you'll have those powers under the police department to be able to write citations and do things like that. That's what, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, we need as animal control officer.
In my understanding, I was able to write citations.
You can't even,
I've already been to court for citations.
from what I've read
So you're right
and
now.
things,
Yeah.
from what I've read, you can't even legally go into a yard and get a dog.
Well, he's done that, I know that for a fact.
I understand, but I'm just saying, you have to be under direction, the police department, or you have to be under the council?
Where are you
And-
reading that?
From my understanding, as soon as they swear me in as the animal control officer, I have the authority to actually operate as the animal control officer and to issue out any citations or to take someone's dog from their residence if I deem it, as far as that the dog is being mistreated, or as far as, the living conditions of that dog is not in the right place.
And this is not directed against you.
No issues.
It's okay.
I just want things to.
What was your hire date?
Expires, but
December 15th.
Cass, this is what I want you to do, because I don't wanna, I mean, we are gonna grant it, but also, if it was an oversight on our end, I don't wanna take away what he should have had. So Cassie, will you just look to see if it was presented, on his original application stuff? Because if it was, it's only right for him to be paid for his hire date.
I agree.
But if it wasn't presented, you know what I'm saying, we
Then that's
can't,
another
and we'll
issue.
just do it from now. But if it was presented and it was an oversight on our end, I don't wanna, you know what I'm saying? So let me, so we can go ahead and, consider this tonight, but let us know if in fact it was on the original, stuff.
May have to owe him some more.
Yeah.
And just to explain one thing, the 2 steps is what's recommended by policy for a bachelor's degree. So that's where the 2 steps related to the degree.
But on this one, he's saying that he presented it when he was hired, so we should have considered it then.
Yeah, we should have hired him at a higher step.
I can say this, and I know this is just verbal, it's not anything documented or in writing, but I was at Brandon's interview, and his degree was discussed in the interview.
And you see, I don't wanna make the wrong decision, because right is right.
That's just verbal.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
there for civil service board interview.
So we're gonna go ahead and consider what you're asking for tonight, Tricia and Brandon, but we're gonna go back and I do believe the mayor, and as long as we have that in writing on paper, then we'll consider from higher date, okay?
And Brandon, this was not an attack on you.
No issues, but I want to make sure that as far as while I'm out there, that I'm actually writing citations and actually doing the right thing before.
And that's what I want.
Yes, sir.
For the city and you and everybody. And that's why I've been reading up on it and looking at it, and
Is that, you getting that out of the city's?
ours and the state codes.
Okay, so guys, look, we got 6 more minutes.
Uh-oh.
So we'll do that. So we're gonna consider this tonight, and then Cassie's gonna, get with us, just let us know if it was presented and it was an oversight on our end, okay? All right, thanks, guys. All right, so next discussion, only discussion that's necessary by interim city clerk Epperson regarding a renewal for the UKG, Kronos contract coming up for renewal. Is this your standard, Cassie?
This is just standard. We've hit the end of our years, they're coming to renew, and it's gonna maintain the same price.
All right, okay, all right, next one, discussion, only discussion that's necessary by interim city clerk Epperson regarding the consideration of a one-time lump sum payment to retirement systems of Alabama for an increase provided to retirees.
Yes, ma'am. Averages about every 2 to 3 years, the retirement systems of Alabama will evaluate retiree wages and offer a suggested amount for us to cover to give them a one-time increase. And that's what you have in front of you.
And this happened in 2021 also?
And it did. We approved it in 21.
All right, and this is the total that's on here, the $21,501.
Yes, ma'am. That would be total.
Okay, all right, we have that, in the budget. There's also some other stuff in front of us. I'm gonna assume, this is the stuff that I asked for. It says, roadway resurfacing improvements. And is this the stuff I asked you for, Cassie?
Those are gonna be the items that they're discussing during the public hearing about the proposed project for paving for CDBG.
So I had got excited, because remember I asked you, and I guess I should ask the mayor, I had asked for a list of the ditches and the cleaning schedules.
Dan has that.
Okay.
He's getting that together for me. I don't have it just yet.
Okay, that's fine. And then too, and I know it's probably gonna take a while, because I know he probably don't even have a concrete list, because I know the last time me and you talked, you didn't even know it was. Just so we'll know, because the people keep calling about the same things, and I just wanna be able to tell them.
This tonight, one of the proposals actually covers, like we kind of spoke at the last meeting with the concrete.
Yeah.
It kind of touches on some of that, and one of the
Okay, and then too, Mayor, if you don't mind, I don't even know if you talked to Dan about this, the road on South Nashville, well, I see this on here too, so we're gonna get this. And I don't even know if the, 400 North Main on the side is on this one. That easement, that utility easement that we ended up closing that road, it looks like a driveway now, but it used to be a utility easement, but we just closed the other side of the
I
road.
know what you're talking about.
Is that on this?
Is that the one that you had requested several months ago?
Yeah,
They went out and did some patchwork with that.
they did. Ooh, thank you, Jesus. Alright, so now I just got one more thing on my, list. Oh, and Mayor too, if you can, when you do your, maybe when you do some of your mayor updates and stuff, wanna remind people what days they come by and pick up the stuff on side the road. You would think the same people would know by now, but I don't know, maybe just we can do a refresher one time. Just say, hey, they're gonna pick up on the north side of town on Tuesday. They pick up on the south side, and I don't know, that may not even make any sense what I'm saying. Just when they pick the stuff up on side of the roads. Cause I have people still call me all the time that have been living here forever, but it's okay. All right, so we made it, didn't we?
Can I ask something?
Go ahead, you got 3 minutes.
Mayor Hubbard,
Yes.
will you also check on, Marble City Cemetery, the conversation me and you had the past week, just about the landscaping, the crepe myrtles and the outside the fence? I know we're handling the inside, so if you don't mind. And then there's some limbs that, was down when I went by there today. So I tried to get them, but, you know, one leg here was kind of tough. They right in the middle of the cemetery. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, Mayor, thanks, Cassie, thanks, everybody. Okay, so we made it, y'all do know we have a public hearing, we are gonna have to start at, 6 o'clock. So, we got the public hearing at 6, we got the, action for the, Mayor Hubbard's veto. We got the action to approve, declare various pieces of police equipment. We have to appoint, a BOE board member, appoint a utility board member, an action that is necessary for the, animal control officer to give him a raise. And right now, we're just gonna do it effective as of June 13th until Cassie gets back with us, and then we just have the accounts payable. We also have an executive session, at the end of the council meeting, so we'll go through the list of things on our council agenda, and then we'll even hear public comments. We'll go into the executive session, and then we'll come out to adjourn. We won't come out to, vote on anything else. And I think, I'll read that at the, when it's time for that from our city attorney for the executive session. All right, so it's 5:59. We're gonna wait till the clock hits 6 and then we're gonna start. Ready. Thanks again, Trish.
Thank you.
You want me to read it? You gonna read it? Okay.
I don't need a copy, sir. Thank you very much.
You want one? All right, it's 6 p.m. We're gonna go ahead and, call the meeting to order. Roll call vote, Greer Bisignani. Here. I'm here. Nate Brewer.
Here.
Tim Vincent.
Here.
Laura Heath.
Here.
Invocation was provided by Pastor Chris Thylacker prior to the work session, and now we're gonna stand for the pledge.
Stand ready for that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah. All right. Do you have a, report for us, Mayor Hubbard, tonight?
I do, but I do it after this, or?
Yeah, we just have to start the meeting at, 6.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we'll come back to the mayor's report. So I need a motion to approve or, adopt the
I
agenda.
make a motion, we adopt the agenda as written.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any nays? All right, motion passes. I need a motion to approve minutes of the regular city council work session held on May 5th, 2026.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
I heard Tim first. All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular city council work session held on May 21st, 2026.
Motion.
Need a second? Heard Greer, all in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular city council work session held on June 2nd, 2026.
Motion.
I need a second?
Second.
Heard Laura, all in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, I need a motion to approve minutes of the regular city council meeting held June 2nd, 2026.
Motion.
I need a second? Heard Greer, all in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Okay, old business, now is the public hearing is now open to consider the proposed paving project for subdivision of fiscal year 27 Community Development Block Grant, CDBG. This public hearing is in compliance with the community participation plan required by the CDBG process and adopted by the city of Sylacauga, June 7, 1993. Speaking first, Elizabeth Harkett, East Alabama Regional Planning and Development, and Sam Serio, Goodwin Mills, Kaywood GMC will outline the details of paving project proposal to be submitted for the fiscal year 27 CDBG application and any related matching funds obligated by the city if the grant is awarded. After the above presentation, any members of the public who would like to comment, please come forward with any comment stating your name and address for the record. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes each. Groups representing or supporting the same or similar opinions are limited to 1 representative speaker. You doing all right tonight, Elizabeth?
Yes, doing good. How are you?
Good.
Awesome. And I will say Sam from Goodwin Mills and Kaywood cannot be here tonight. But I'm happy to go into as much technical detail as I can.
Okay.
So just some background information. We are applying for the large city fund for CDBG. The grant ceiling is $500,000 and the proposed matching funds would be $53,625. Awards are typically announced in October. And the proposed project is, I have some maps.
I think we have one. Is that a bigger one? Is that a bigger one? It's a bigger one. Oh, yes. I didn't know, magnifying glass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just to kind of go over and verbally, we're going to be doing all of Fluker Street, the section of South Nashville Avenue, which you brought up earlier.
Is this concrete though? So this is asphalt, that part is asphalt, okay.
Yes. We'll also be doing East Park Street, which just that asphalt. The section of East Milton Street.
That's right in front of the church, St. Thomas Church, the part that ended paved, okay?
And that one is currently concrete, and right now we have it to convert to pavement, so that that whole block is the same.
They're gonna be happy about that.
And then also just off of Fluker Street, there's a little bit of Glenwood Drive, and we're just gonna go ahead and take care of that as
So
well.
the whole Fluker Street and then part of Glenwood?
All the way down to the, there's a circle drive there, but yeah.
When will we be getting started again?
If it is awarded, it'll be in October.
Yeah.
And typically, how the timelines fall, it would be next summer before
Okay.
construction actually.
That's fine, because I'm just thinking about, I work for the schools, I'm just thinking about buses, and those are all of our routes that we'll be doing. So if it'll be summer, we'll be fine. We can pivot quicker in the summertime, we can't during the school year.
Yeah,
But
fair enough.
Something's on here that's not highlighted, it's the Nashville Avenue, so is that included in this?
So the section that curved section that goes from, trying to do this from
Did I
memory.
look at it wrong?
Spring Street down to, I can't think of what that other one is. Yes. So that section right there, we are able to do, but the section south of that is concrete, the cost is just gonna be too much for this cycle. However, it doesn't mean that we can't cover it in future applications.
Okay, so Mayor, the part that I got the questions about, it's not gonna be covered on Nashville.
There's what you're
You talking about where Ms. Quammen?
Talking about-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
on
it.
here,
This
that's
is right
it,
here.
that's where Ms. Quammen lives.
Behind the ball fields.
Yeah.
That connects back to Watonka. This is it right here.
Okay, okay. So this whole thing is Nashville, the way this
Yeah.
reads. Okay, all
That's
right,
on that side of town.
all right. It's just that this part, this what threw me, because this isn't red.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
Could you please explain to me, when you say option one, match 53,625, and then option two, match 89,000? Can you explain that?
So that was just options that were submitted, looking at the match options. From discussions with the mayor, we decided to go with option, I believe it's option one for the 53,000. So, and that was just as we were trying to find more streets that we could cover in the grant without committing more match than necessary.
Thank you.
Yeah, and especially with the cap, it is. Okay, all right. Thank you, this is exciting.
We're praying we get it.
Yes,
Yeah,
Lord.
For
Okay.
sure. And with that, I will just do a little quick thing on the grant itself. It is supposed to be geared towards low to moderate income individuals, and it is, the public hearing is just a function of getting public input on the project. So happy to answer any further questions as needed.
Okay.
I don't have any, I'm excited. I'm really praying we get this grant because it is very much needed. It's very much needed.
And I will say it is one of the most competitive, but I'm hopeful. So
am I. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
of course.
Okay, are there any more speakers, any questions, comments about this public hearing, about this issue? Is there anyone? Oh, okay, it's about this issue? It's about the grant and the streets that are listed on here. You have some questions or concerns about this?
Well, I don't know what streets are on there.
Here, you can come look at mine, but I would like to have it back. You can look at mine. So these are the streets that are being considered for this grant, and we're asking if you have any questions or comments on this. Here's the map to this, a bigger one.
I was thinking that, because I've been coming here for the past 4 or 5 years about Hammond, South Hammond Avenue. And, I thought we were on the list at one point in time, but how does the list go? You know, who determines what gets on this cycle?
I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, Cassie and the mayor, I think it's the street department. Do you have did the police department have something to do with determining the transportation? Well, I guess,
So
Okay.
this particular grant, Community Development Block Grant, the CDBG.
Yes.
This is driven by, poverty, impoverished areas. That's
Okay.
why, and it's scored, that this is a federal grant, it's a HUD
Okay.
grant. So it's scored, and the number of houses that are captured per street,
Mhm.
the higher the poverty level along that street, the higher grade that you get. In other words, you're more likely to get the grant. So that's why, you see Fluker, because it's within a housing authority.
Okay.
So that's really gonna put the grade up, because you're gonna capture that economic area along the
Okay.
street. But it allows us to come back with a 10% match, and we can get some of these other spots. And this is renewable, we can apply year after year. So if we get it this year,
Mhm.
we can come back and hit other high
Okay.
demand areas. And Hammond would not necessarily qualify for this particular
this.
grant. But the list you're talking about does exist within the street department.
Okay, so it's two different lists
Yes,
here,
ma'am.
what we're talking
Yes,
about.
ma'am.
Okay, okay.
And these streets are really bad too, like, these are bad, and remember the last time we talked, remember, you know, I hate to say it, Hammett didn't even qualify to make the list the last time because of the other streets were so bad. So yeah, these are real bad, and these have been on, we've been trying to get these taken care of too, but it's just different area, different, demographics, yeah, Hammett wouldn't have even made this list, it wouldn't have even been considered for this list.
Okay, all right, well, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. Are there any more speakers about the public hearing? Any more questions, concerns? Okay, all right, going once, going twice. You wanna say something? No. All right, so having no further discussion, the public hearing is now closed. All right, if to be considered at this meeting, I am gonna need an introduction by a council member.
I'll introduce.
All right, if to take action, I need a motion to suspend the rules and give immediate consideration.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All right, and this has to be unanimous to be considered. All in favor?
Yes.
Any nays? All right. If unanimous, I need a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
All right, so we're committed to, and I need to write this thing here. We're committed to approving this grant with matching funds of
53,000.
53,000, I can't see this, is that 525, Cassie?
I think it's
$625. I'm gonna have to get a magnifying glass.
I'll buy you some glasses.
Jesus. Okay, all right, you got that, Cassie?
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any nays? All right, motion passes. Jesus, I can't see that. All right, next on, the agenda, action that is necessary to override the mayor's veto of resolution 52-2026 approved by Sylacauga Council on May 5th. I need a motion to override the veto.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
All right, so 3-2. All right, next on the agenda, action that is necessary regarding the appointment of the Board of Education for a 5-year term for the position currently held by Gregory Bailey, and its term expiring June 26. Once appointed, the appointment term will renew expiring June 2031. All right, I'm now gonna open the floor for nominations, and the applicants include Gregory Bailey, Kermit Bargenter, Baumgartner, I'm so sorry, the third, Kadarius Davis Senior, Cedric DeBarnleben, Wanda McElrath Frazier, and Keela 3.
Madam President, may I say something? I should have done said, I'll be recusing myself from this vote because of my employment.
Okay, all right. So again, now the floor is open for nominations.
I nominate Kermit Baumgartner.
Will there be any more, nominations? All right, so we're gonna close the, floor for nominations. Hearing no other nominees, I'm gonna ask for it to be closed. I need a motion by a council member to close the nominations.
Motion.
I heard Greer first. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
All right, any nays? All right, nominations are closed. All right. So now I'm gonna do a roll call vote, which Kermit was the only, nominee. So those in favor of Kermit, say his last name, Laura?
Baumgartner.
Okay. Laura, the third. Laura?
Yes.
Tim Vincent?
Yes.
Greer, Bisignani?
Yes.
All right. And me, yes. All right, any opposed? Okay. I have to go down the list, y'all. I have a whole bunch of stuff.
Can I say, I would just like to thank Mr. Bailey for his service to the board and during his term.
Okay. I think we are gonna, yeah, we already did the roll call vote. Okay, so congratulations, Kermit. All right, next item, action that is necessary regarding the appointment of the utility boards for a 6-year term for the position currently held by Brad Porch and his term expiring July 15th, 2026. Once appointed, the appointment term will renew expiring July 15th, 2032. All right, I'm now gonna open the floor for nominations. The applications include Brad Porch and Keela 3.
I nominate Brad Porch.
All right. Are there any other nominations? Okay, hearing no other nominations, I'm gonna, call for a vote for the, nominations to be closed.
I nominate.
No, I need to close it first, Karen. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All right, Tim, all in favor?
Yes.
Any nays? All right, nominations are closed. And we're now going, since there was only one nominee, I am gonna, call for a roll call vote for Brad Porch. Laura, Heath?
Yes.
Tim Vincent?
Yes.
Nate Brewer?
Yes.
Greer Bizignani?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we're all in favor, so congratulations, Brad. You got that, Cassie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, next item, action that is necessary to approve resolution 58-2026 to declare surplus of police department equipment and authorize its related disposal. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Yes.
Any nays? All right, motion passes. All right, on to new business, action that is necessary to approve a two-step increase related to education, a bachelor's degree in criminal justice for animal control officer Brandon Gears, effective as of June 13th, 2026. I need a motion.
Motion.
And a second.
Second.
I heard Laura, all in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? All right, motion passes.
This is with the understanding of going back.
Mhm. And Cassie, she'll come back and let us know if we need to, make that change. All right, I haven't forgot about your report, Mayor. Next item, action that is necessary to approve accounts payable invoices for fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $680,849.02.
Motion.
And a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, action that is necessary to approve May 2026 payroll in the amount of $525,213.04. In a motion?
Motion.
I heard Nate. I need a second.
Second.
I heard Laura.
I
It's
didn't
okay.
hear.
All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. All right, so we're now gonna go back and hear the mayor's report because we did want to start on time because we had the public hearing.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
I know, it keeps
They
going
go
out.
dead.
We got this water.
Thank you, Dan. No, there it goes. All right, thank you, Madam President. I don't know, is Miss Judy here? No, she, okay. All right, Miss Judy, if you'll come on up. One, I want to remind everyone of, Miss Judy's event at the Coleman Museum on, July the 4th from 11 to 2. If y'all were here at the last meeting, they came dressed up as Betsy Ross and, let's see, Martha Washington, Thomas Jefferson. So that really got the last meeting off to a good start there. So I want to invite everyone out to that. But what we have them up here for tonight is a very, very special recognition for their hard work and dedication to the Coleman Museum. They have been recognized by Best of Alabama as a regional winner. And I'm going to read this to kind of give y'all a little background on what Best of Alabama is. Best of Alabama is an annual roundup of the best products and services you can find across the state of Alabama. Throughout the year, readers of the Guide to Alabama vote for everything they love in the Best of Alabama annual awards. The votes are tabulated and compiled along with the editor's picks, and then you have these resulting winners. And our Isabel Anderson Coleman Museum and Arts Center is a regional winner for the Best of in Alabama, which is just phenomenal. Now, I'm going to give you another museum, if you will, that's in this group they're in, and that's the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute. So that shows you the company that they're in with this recognition. So To Miss Judy and your team, congratulations, keep up the great work. I want to get a picture.
Yeah.
This is right here.
Congratulations.
Let me get down here where I hide some of the
All right, looking right here. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Now it's my turn. All right, everybody on three. 1, 2, 3, and one more. 2, 3. Gotcha.
I'll speak loud. I know we've got an executive session to get into, but I also wanted to remind everyone of our Star Spangled Sylacauga event Friday, June 26th out at Central Park at 5 p.m. I hope everyone's enjoying the fire hydrant competition from the 250, and then I hope y'all have noticed the new banners downtown. And so I think they look really good as well. Adds to the celebration. Of course, the Beautification Council did that. And then the mural on First Street. That's just, we have 3 murals on First Street, and that 250 mural is just phenomenal. I want to thank Ms. Margaret Morton and her team at Safe and Earth and Representative Ben Robbins. They hosted Alabama's Workforce Development Secretary today, Mr. Greg Reed. He was in town. He spoke over at B.B. Comer High School, and then we had a joint Rotary and Kiwanis luncheon today at the library, and he was able to speak. So I really appreciate them bringing him to Sylacauga and educating him on what we're doing here locally related to workforce development, our educational system, and just actually putting his eyes out on the earth project. I want to thank everybody who participated in the voting process today. Volunteers, candidates, and voters. Hope everyone got out to vote. Want to ask everybody to keep the Simpkins family. Y'all keep the Simpkins family in your thoughts and prayers. We lost a pillar of our community when we lost Buddy.
That's right, Coach.
And outside of that, we don't have another meeting scheduled prior to the 4th, so I want to wish everyone a safe and happy Independence Day. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we're gonna, now it's time for anyone who wants to address the council to come up to the podium. Remember, no action will be taken at this meeting. Please come to the microphone and state your name and address prior to addressing the council. Girl, that's you? Yep.
What?
So, my name is Claire Bizignani, 2422 Lake Terrace Road. And I'm coming before the council to make you aware that in this veto of the mayor's resolution regarding the requirement that all the department heads come before us on a regular basis was in the council procedures that the city council approved on November 6th of 2025. In that procedure, it states that you all voted that the mayor would bring to city council anyone that had an issue or a comment or a question before the agenda for city council, that they would bring that department head to the meeting. And that was approved by city council. And I just want to make sure our citizens are aware that that was handled in the manner that you put forth as a council procedure. And so it is in place that we voted on for department heads to come to these meetings as they are needed. What took place before that council procedure was outside of the procedures that were voted on, because those procedures were in place even before that, when you had all the department heads here. And it just seems to me that we're kind of going backwards. And so your council procedures now are, we're not acting accordingly to those council procedures. So I just want our citizens to be aware of that. And as a citizen, I think we need to understand that our department heads work all day, and now we're requiring them to all come back and sit before us, even though there may not be issues related to each of those departments. Thank you.
Thank you, Greer. All right, is there anyone else who would like to address the council? Please come to the microphone, state your name, and remember, no action is to be taken at this time. It should be.
Just speak loud, Ms. Rhonda. Rhonda Housen, 1211 West Fort Williams, Sylacauga. And I'll be honest, I didn't plan to speak tonight. I got permission to set up out here to kind of let you guys know about CART. Got all the stuff together real quick and put it together, and it was suggested that maybe I tell you again about what CART is. But as always, I've heard something that now I feel like I've got to say something. And that being that I know this is a different perception, perspective, whatever, and I'm just going to speak my mind. And this is just how I feel. I think department heads should be here. It's 2 nights out of the month. I don't think that's a lot to ask. I've been in leadership positions, and I've been in positions where it was expected, you know, encouraged and or expected that I also participate in things with the community. I took projects home that I had to do. And so in leadership, that's not unusual. Leaders, in my opinion, and this is just me talking, need to be leaders. They need to lead. And if you are in that position, then how do you expect your employees not to be apathetic about what's going on in their city if you don't care enough to give a couple of hours and come up here? So it starts there with the leaders showing leadership and being there. And because this is a trigger point for me, is that I'm seeing a lot of apathy in Sylacauga. Now, I'll be honest, I was feeling good tonight at this meeting. I was like, whoa, let's go. We've got promotions. I'm proud of these people. We're doing things. We're getting these awards. Woo! And then the department head thing comes up, and I just feel strongly about it. You're being paid to be a leader. That's a part of it. And if you don't care enough, and I'm not saying the mayor has to require it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I'd like to see the mayor encourage it, because these are his leaders. And they lead by example. And again, if you can't give a little while to be up here, then how are your employees going to care? And also, how are the citizens going to care? And we've got citizens who won't even vote. You know? And so it's a thing for me. I want to see people care. I want to see them involved. And I'll shut up on that and go into CART. Because that's why I'm doing CART. I saw what I felt was a need. And I feel that I have the ability to help with that need, not to solve it, but to help. So what my website says that I've put together in Wix, oh my God, don't go to Vistaprint to buy your domain and because they make you go to Wix, and I'm telling you, don't do it. Sleepless nights, lots of them. Anyway, what it says on there is ages 6 to 106. And I'm currently putting together lesson plans for each age group, specific to the age group. Goodie bags specific to the age group. And you'd be surprised, seniors need education about responsible pet ownership. So, like I said, up to 106, I think 6 is young enough to start. And like I said last time, if you're Girl Scout leader, Boy Scout leader, if you know teachers, churches, organizations, whatever, I'll go in and teach. And we're gonna have more colorful bags than what I have out there right now. Those were put together very quickly for the last time that I talked to the council. And I want them to be colorful for the kids and like, woo, anyway.
And you have QR codes on the back, on the stuff you got out there, Ms. Rhonda?
Look at there.
And it's on the stuff that you're handing out too, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
I know it's on the business cards, I'm not sure about the flyers.
Okay.
It's just very tiny. I think that's a Venmo. Okay, this is the website. And the Venmo's very small because that's not what I'm trying to emphasize.
Okay.
If anybody wants to give a donation, great, we'll use it. But I'm here to offer. I'm here to say I can teach. I'm here to try to recruit volunteers. I can use all the help I can get. Teenagers, I think even preteens could help put together goodie bags and things like that. So volunteers I need. And also it occurred to me the other day that if anybody this summer, because I realize school's out, so that's not going to be probably an opportunity where a teacher says, oh, that'd be nice, come in and teach my kids a little bit. But if somebody has a birthday party and they want little goodie bags, I'm getting little bubbles to blow, I'm getting little tattoo stickers, and you know, if a parent's like, can't afford to put together a goodie bag or doesn't want to, and I don't have to teach. You know, you don't have to say, oh, I'm getting a goodie bag, she's gonna wanna teach these kids and they're gonna be bored. No, I don't have to do that, but I will provide the bags if you get in touch with me, and I'll even try to color coordinate. And beyond that, maybe someday I'll get a little furry costume and I will teach them. You know, I'm up for whatever. Again, I just want to help. And so that's what CARP is. It's teaching. There's a lot to teach. Grooming, feeding, exercise, playing with them. You know, but in Sylacauga, I see the need to emphasize spaying and neutering and don't abandon them. You know, those are two big things. And then, you know, as we get more ordinances, I'm not sure, I didn't familiarize myself with exactly what we already have in ordinances as far as leashes and that kind of thing, but that can be emphasized as well. You know, and a leash isn't just for protection of other people, a leash is also for protection of your dog. If a hawk comes down to get your little dog, if you got it on a leash, you got a better chance of saving it, you know. And there have been instances in other places where it's been a coyote or whatever. But, so anyway, leashes, spaying and neutering and not abandoning, and then all the other little things that go in for responsible pet ownership as well. So, I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rhonda.
Thank you for what you're doing, Ms. Rhonda.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council?
Thank you. Tab Visignani, 2422 Lake Terrace Road. With regard to these department people coming to this meeting, one thing I'm getting tired of seeing in these meetings time and time again is undermining our mayor. Our mayor is our CEO. The department heads work for the mayor, not for you, Nate, not for you, Tim, Laura, Greer, Tiffany. Work for him. He's the mayor, not you. If he doesn't want them here, they don't need to be here. I believe in one of the previous meetings, it was said that each of these departments have regular meetings, and that any citizen with any question about a department in specific can go to that meeting. I even believe the mayor offered to distribute minutes from those meetings, which is sufficient. Greer pointed out that you voted on that in your, whatever they are, the bylaw or the procedures, and you went against your own vote. What are you doing? I'm seeing this time and time again. You gotta support your CEO. Tiffany, if you want to be mayor, run for mayor. He's the mayor, not you.
I ran for the seat I
Thank
wanted.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Bisignani. All right, is there anyone else who would like to address the council?
Well, that does go both ways. The mayor needs to respect the council, because the council's got a job and the mayor's got a job.
Tim, it's okay, this is the time for the public to speak. It's okay, as long as they're respectful, we'll allow it.
Ours is a little bit more lighthearted.
Are y'all together?
Yes.
Seventh place.
There tonight.
Okay.
This is
Just
my first one, so sorry if I do.
It's okay, just state your name and address.
Shaquita King, 10067 7th Place.
Alex Mosley, 10087th place.
Okay.
I've addressed the council before, as well as the street department head, Mr. Parrott, regarding the creek or ditch or whatever it is, in between my residence as well as Mr. Mosley's. And it is causing erosion in our property to be washed away. You know, I've been contacted, I spoke with Councilmember Brewer, spoke with the street department, Mr. Perry, as well as the mayor. And I've been speaking with some, back and forth communicating since, I think, February and March. Well, no one has called me back or gave me an answer, or the last thing I heard was from Mr. Parrott stating that, he was looking over some legal things that they had to look up or get resolved, but, it's crickets. So,
So you have all your documentation, so Mayor, what we're gonna ask you, I'm pretty sure you already have, Shaquita's contact information. So, again, since we know there's no discussion at this time, do you wanna just give her a time that you'll just call her and give her an update on this issue?
Yeah, there's actually an update yesterday. What he was waiting on, that legal advice, I think he got it yesterday or day before.
So you all just get with her tomorrow and just have that conversation? Okay. So, I guess I don't know, just make sure you just leave your contact information just to make sure the mayor has it. I don't know if Dan has it, and they'll just call you tomorrow and give you the update that Mr. Parrott got yesterday.
Yeah, they do have it, and, Mr. Mosley, he can leave his with them also.
There you go.
They both have.
Okay, cause
Well, we just wanna make sure the mayor has it, so
Okay.
that, because he's gonna be the person to contact y'all tomorrow about the update.
okay.
Right,
This is
Mayor?
more of that flooding, land erosion that kind of has been kind of the Sylacauga thing, but it's just to the point where it's getting a little bit close to the foundations and it's kind of
Yeah.
getting a little scary.
Yeah, 'cause
And we
his
do-
wife-
yeah.
His wife was cutting grass and she
Kind of
almost.
fell into the ditch because of just how much it's kind of eroded into it.
And that's what we're doing too. The mayor's gonna also get us an update on the ditch clean out and stuff on the, city right away. And we do apologize for the delay, but the mayor said they got some information yesterday, and hopefully you guys can have that conversation, y'all can get updated in the morning.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, is there anyone else who would like to address the council tonight?
Just because y'all are talking about the ditches. DJ Gann, 106 South Broadway. Do you remember the first time I ever contacted you about the ditch
Yes,
on
ma'am.
Church?
Right.
That's the last time it got cleaned.
Oh, Lord.
That one always gets forgotten. So I just want to make sure whatever
Okay.
list y'all are putting all the
We're gonna
ditches
have all,
on.
yeah, that's what we're, asking the mayor and, the street department superintendent for, a list of all the ditches and the cleaning schedule. So
Well-
that way, everybody will know, including us. So when you guys call us, we can look at our list and say, hey, this one is scheduled to be cleaned on the
Right.
third Tuesday of the month.
Here's the kicker though. Every time the city comes out to clean that, there's at least one person on that crew that goes, my God, I never knew this one was here. I've been working for the city for 10 years. Yes, I'm aware.
Well, we're gonna, Nate knows exactly what ditch you're talking about, we'll make sure that
Yes,
ditch is on
ma'am.
the
The
list.
one right there behind you,
Yeah.
It starts on Church and goes behind
That's right.
about 4 houses, including Mr. Livingston's,
Mhm.
on Broadway.
You got that covered.
Church parking lot.
Okay. He'll get with Dan tomorrow.
So hopefully.
Thanks, TJ.
So hopefully we'll all have a list of the ditches and the day that they're gonna be cleaned
Yeah,
or the
that's
area. Yeah.
Since y'all were talking about it, that's the only reason I wanted to bring it up, because it tends
That's what
to be
I've
forgotten,
been
because it's back there.
Nobody.
We've been working on this forever.
All right, is there anyone else who would like to address the council? All right, so now, next item, at this time, we are gonna go into, an executive session, and it says, I'm gonna read let me see. All right, so it's action that is necessary for the Sylacauga City Council to enter into an executive session pursuant to section 36-25A-7A3 of Code of Alabama 1975, as advised by City Attorney Livingston Jr., with an anticipation of adjourning the meeting within, no, we're gonna come out of executive session and then adjourn the meeting. So I am gonna read this letter, from our city attorney about the executive session. It's, dear council members, pursuant to section 36-25A-7A3, Code of Alabama 1975, as amended, I am writing this letter to inform the council that 2 of the matters to be discussed in a regularly scheduled city council meeting this date with me as city attorney for the city of Sylacauga involves discussion of legal ramifications of a legal opinions for pending litigation, controversies not yet being litigated, but imminently likely to be litigated, or imminently likely to be litigated if the governmental bodies pursue a proposed course of action. In my opinion, that this council shall pass a motion allowing said executive session to be conducted for above stated reasons. So I am gonna take a vote now to go into an executive session. The only people that will be allowed in the room is the council and the mayor. We're gonna, exit the executive session. We're gonna stand there about, and the city attorney.
You got John Ham too. John's listed, Bill, there's a list. Who needs to be in there, see it?
Why is Johnny Cassidy on the list?
Because some stuff we gotta talk about, I don't know.